Hello and welcome, my friends. Today, we have a story about Charlie Chaplin. He was a man who made everyone laugh, but inside, he carried a lot of sadness. Even after many years, his movies are still loved around the world. So let's listen to his life story together, learn new words, and make our listening stronger. Let this journey inspire us. Charlie Chaplin was born in London, England, on April 16, 1889. His parents, Hannah Chaplin and Charles Chaplin Sr., were performers in music halls and theater. Charlie's parents were performers who sang and entertained people, but life was very hard for young Charlie.
His father was an alcoholic who drank until he destroyed himself. He left the family when Charlie was still a little boy. His mother, Hannah, had to raise Charlie and his older half-brother, Sidney, all alone. Life was not kind to them. They lived in deep, painful poverty. Many days there was no food. Charlie sometimes went to sleep hungry.
His mother even pretended to eat so her children could have more. They moved from one small, dirty room to another, always afraid of being kicked out. But Charlie was still a child, and children, even in the hardest times, still find moments to smile. Charlie's mother, Hannah, was a talented singer and actress. She worked in theaters, trying to earn a little money to feed her children. Charlie loved watching her and dreamed of being on stage someday. But one night, something terrible happened. While performing, Hannah suddenly lost her voice. She tried to sing, but her voice came out like a loud scream. The audience became angry. They shouted at her and threw things on the stage. Then something magical happened. A small 5-year-old boy, Charlie, walked onto the stage. He picked up the microphone, started singing and dancing, and the audience loved him. Everyone looked at him with surprise and started cheering for him. Suddenly, he copied his mother's voice and made a loud, funny scream. The people burst into laughter and clapped for him even more. That was Charlie's first time performing, the first time he felt the magic of making people laugh. And deep inside, he knew this was his future. Charlie believed he was born to perform, but life was very cruel. After years of poverty, hunger, and stress, his mother lost her mind and was sent to a mental hospital. Charlie and his brother were left alone. No family, no money, and nowhere to go. They became street children, wandering and begging to survive. Charlie and his brother Sidney were sent to workhouses, terrible places where poor people had to work just to get food and a bed. These places were cold and cruel. Charlie was only 7 years old when he entered his first workhouse. He was separated from Sidney and sent to another workhouse alone. As a child, he took any small job he could find, washing dishes, delivering newspapers, even making toys. But his heart was always on the stage. One day, he saw a group of street performers making people laugh. Something inside him said, "This is my chance." Charlie joined them. He performed on the streets, dancing, singing, doing tiny comedy shows. At first, no one cared. People walked past him. But Charlie did not give up. He kept performing, kept getting better, watched other comedians, studied their timing and expressions. Slowly, people began to notice him. They stopped, watched, and laughed. Charlie had a gift. He could make people happy.
At age 14, he got a big chance when he joined the theater group called the 8 Lancashire Lads. He wasn't important yet, but it was a beginning. Charlie worked harder than everyone. He practiced day and night and learned every move. Soon, a theater director noticed him and said, "This boy is special." Charlie started getting bigger roles. At 16, he acted in a real play called Sherlock Holmes. He was no longer just a street performer. He was performing in real theaters with large audiences. People loved him. Directors saw something unique in him: his expressions, his movements, and his ability to show emotions without speaking. Then something happened that changed his life forever. In 1910, Hollywood came calling. Charlie was invited to go to America, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He packed his bags, got on a ship, and crossed the ocean. When he arrived, everything felt new. Bigger streets, louder people, and an exciting energy. Most importantly, Hollywood was there. At first, people didn't understand Charlie's new character. But the moment he performed, his movements, his expressions, his silent comedy, the world fell in love. Charlie's films became very popular. Producers begged him to make more. Studios offered him huge amounts of money. In just a few years, the poor boy from the streets of London became the biggest star in the world. Back then, Hollywood studios controlled everything. Actors had to follow orders. But Charlie was different. He said, "No one will control me. I will make my own movies." So, in 1918, he shocked Hollywood by building his own studio, Chaplin Studios. In 1921, he created one of the most legendary films ever, The Kid. It wasn't just comedy, it was Charlie's own story. A poor man and an orphaned boy, a story of hunger, struggle, and love. People laughed, people cried, and the whole world loved the movie. Charlie realized that movies were not just entertainment, they had the power to change lives. By the late 1930s, the world was changing again. Adolf Hitler was rising in Germany, spreading hate, war, and fear. Charlie noticed something strange. Hitler had the same mustache as him, and people compared them. So Charlie made a brave decision. He would use comedy to fight against Hitler. In 1940, he created The Great Dictator, his first talking movie. It was not just a comedy, it was a message to the world. In the final scene, Charlie gives a speech, one of the most powerful speeches in history. We think too much and feel too little. Charlie Chaplin won an Oscar in 1972. Charlie Chaplin fell in love very easily, and many of his relationships ended in pain and drama. He was married 4 times, and his first 3 marriages failed. Each time, the woman left him, took money, and sometimes even took him to court. When Charlie was 54 years old, he met Una O'Neill. She was only 18. People said she was too young, but Charlie didn't care. For the first time in his life, he found true love. Una became the most important person in his life. She stood by him when the world turned against him. She was his best friend, his love, his everything. They stayed together until the end. Even with the big age gap, they were truly happy. They had 8 children together, and Charlie finally had a real family. He spent his last 25 years living peacefully in a beautiful house in Switzerland. He taught us that life is about laughter, love, and never giving up. Even when he had nothing, he kept hope. Even when the world attacked him, he kept fighting. If Charlie could do it, you can do it too. Dream big, work hard, and one day your story can inspire the world.
Dear friends, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next videos. Thanks a lot.